somebody that was having an issue with their left collarbone. It was kind of a different word. So that's the first one that I heard. And then the second one was just somebody that was dealing with a lot of sadness this week, that God just wanted to refresh them and help them to be able to refocus. And that one I felt, but I think I know who that one's for. That's here. So if you don't say anything, it's okay. I'll catch you behind after class. So you can go ahead.
Stay after school.
Yeah, right. It's not detention.
So when,
I just want to say,
Okay,
very
sure.
specific about the left collarbone.
Yeah.
That's something I really had terrible pain with
Have you?
a few weeks ago, and then it went somewhere else.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I think that was,
Okay, for you. All right. Well, I'm debating on time. Why don't I pray off to the side with you, and then if you guys want to continue around, that way we don't wait, because we could be here probably another hour if we wanted to doing this. So, are you okay with that?
yeah.
Okay.
so whenever anybody comes up front and says, we're going to practice, my initial response is, oh boy, I don't know if I'll get anything. So Jordan was sharing, and I had this before where Mike was sharing, we had the word sword in a Bible verse, and I realized that, sorry, in the middle of that word sword is word. And I saw the stick picture of a person with a sword piercing their back. And I knew that it was a word spoken that had influenced their life. And what this word, sword, gave: pain, fatigue, weariness, and it attacked identity. And because it's in the back, when you look in the mirror, you see the front. And so it's hidden from you, this sword. And so you've lived unknowing about this word that was spoken to you. But yet you live your life from that word. So I heard the Lord say, then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. And to take the sword out is to place the word of God upon, and the Lord will give you rest.
Is that here for anybody specific that she can pray for?
Well, I have chronic issues with my back. And most of it's in the lower back, but sometimes it'll be up higher. And right now it is kind of between my shoulder blades, the lower part of my shoulder blades.
Okay. And sometimes when you see stuff in the spirit like that, it manifests in the physical, and that's why you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, if you want to pray for that.
Yeah,
I've
and
been having
Inside.
trouble too. About a week and a half ago, I almost fell, and when I was catching myself, I jammed, I don't know, the back. And basically, it's right there
Okay.
on the back, so it's not actually backbone.
right, that's
But
where
that,
mine is.
and it comes and goes, and I mean, it almost feels like I could fall sometimes. And I don't know what. So,
Well, if you want to pray for both
Sure.
of them off to the side.
Sure.
We got one healing already, so
Yes.
if you want to share the word that you got, and we'll.
Okay. The only thing that came to me was that God was encouraging and saying, if you're not hearing anything, don't think you're missing what I'm saying. Because sometimes, you know, you just need to rest in me and know, you know, so it's okay. So I guess I was hearing, but it was more of an encouragement. Don't be feeling like you have to hear all the time. Is that, I mean, that seems kind of a funny word for this kind of class, but.
When you first start hearing, especially when you're trying to hear you hear the most when you're in the quiet place. So, yeah, I'll encourage you with that. If the word's for you or for anybody else, and you're unsure, you step out and stretch, but if God's telling you that, then, you know, the 24/7 hearing Him is something that you long for, but something that you seek Him in. It's almost something that He grows in you. Not that He can't do it like that, but almost something that He grows in you. So if that's something that He's telling you, then yeah,
Not feeling
time to
condemnation.
get more quiet.
if
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not
feel
hearing.
condemnation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything. But I do want to tell you, I think you did an excellent job of teaching today's class. I just want to give you that word.
Nice.
Yeah.
Greg?
I think everybody can take a little bit of everything. I mean, because I can go, oh yeah, I got that and that. Oh yeah. But what I basically felt was that God is moving in such a way that I'm not necessarily unchurched, but I try to stay close to some of the rougher people. And I get a lot of luck doing it. And so I personally have kind of prosthetic. It's kind of like puts on a wooden leg, you know, so that I can stand, in His presence. And it's oh yeah, that's right. This is home. and then so that those two things, and then just the proxy concept that where God uses us and God is using others for me and through me, or rather to have just for me to cut much more slack for anybody and everybody, but especially believers, because we're all works in progress.
Oh, yeah.
And so as I have this prosthetic, I'm able to just say, right, oh yeah, mercy for everybody.
Yeah, prosthetics like your grace and mercy. Yeah.
So
I'll lean
that
on
was,
that.
you know, the Colossians 3 is my thing. It says, you know, don't lie to each other, just have compassion for each other. And so-
Yeah. Yep.
And that pretty much, if I can do that, things seem to work out.
Yep, we're all imperfect, and that's, you know, and it's amazing how God knits us together in a certain way where you have to have each other, because if you're off on your own, you get so isolated that the enemy just hardens you. He just chips away at you, sometimes just chunks at a time, so we need each other as a community. And, yeah, lots of grace and mercy for each other, otherwise we can't be a community. It's not what God intended.
It's rough these days.
Yeah. Jim?
I think what I saw was saw the road out there going north, and I felt like the Lord was giving direction, go north. I don't know if that would mean anything to anybody, but that's what I got, to go north.
Huh. Is anybody looking to move? Yeah, go north. That's good. I like that. Go north to the highway, God.
Okay, I had a vision.
Okay.
Okay, it started out kind of dark, but as I went forward, it sort of focused, got lighter, and every once in a while I'd see like, sort of like strong eyes, like a distraction.
Hmm.
But as I got closer, I seen like clouds.
Uh-huh.
And as I went farther into vision, it got clearer and clearer. So it's like a journey as you went on. You're going to have distractions, but just keep focusing. You'll make it to the end.
Yeah, that's a good word. I think just about every one of us can take that. That word. That's a good word. It's, yeah. Our complete journey as Christians. Start out in darkness and sometimes we wander a little bit until we find the light. That's good. Well, did you have anything? I don't know if I asked you.
You know what? It's funny. When you said to play a song, playing a song, and I'm going, what do I do? You know, I'm just playing, and then I felt the Lord say, "Okay, quit playing." You know, just kind of strong. But you know, I felt like the Lord told me, you know, it was time not to play the song. So I guess the Lord spoke to me in that way. So I guess that counts, huh?
Yeah. He has a sense of humor sometimes. Yeah. Well, after we pray, see if they have any testimonies. You want to share yours before we wrap up? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I am. It was kind of interesting because when he said that, I thought I had a few weeks ago, I had a pain, specifically my left collarbone, very sharp, extremely painful. And I thought, well, should I claim that? And then I thought, well, yeah, I claimed that because it moved somewhere else. And then it moved somewhere else again. It was the same type of sharp pain that was very sharp. And so he prayed, and I have been able to move my arm back like this and without pain, and I can now. I can, because it
Glory to God.
really was, yeah. So
Amen.
that is the healing.
And for any of you guys, if we ever give a word of knowledge, don't be afraid to say, because when God gives it, He says, anything that's affecting you, I want it gone. So you're not necessarily claiming what the enemy's doing to you. You're claiming, God, I want what you're about to do.
Yes, amen.
So don't be nervous about that.
That's a good word, because in a women's group I was in, people didn't want to talk about what they were experiencing because they thought it was giving glory to Satan. But you know what?
If you know
That's a
your God's
good way of
bigger,
looking at it, like you're claiming what God is going to give you. Then,
yeah, you're not making the enemy bigger. You're just saying, God, yes, I'd love
Yeah.
for you to do something about it. And I'm glad that you pointed out that you want to do something about it. And
That's
I want
right.
that. Yes, I want
That's
that.
good.
So I have a question.
Sure.
The fact that the pain moved, does that mean anything to you?
Mhm.
What's that mean?
Normally, if it moves, when it moves, or sometimes if you got your hand on their back or wherever it's hurting, you can feel like that on your hand. Something hits you. It's normally like spirit of infirmity or affliction or something like that. So
Okay.
you just go, pain gone, and just like that. So sometimes that's why I've seen a lot of healings. When we were in Brazil before, when I went like 2 years ago, I think we saw somewhere around 3,000 healed in like I don't know if we were there 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Wow.
And probably 12 or 1,300 of them with no hands, nothing. Just stand up, like on a word of knowledge. Just stand up if that's you. We say one prayer, maybe two prayers. Wave your hands if you're completely healed, and we'd count them up. And we had to do it that way because there's so many people. We'd be there for like 5 or 6 hours praying. So that was a way to cut down on time, is stand up if you have it, wave your hands if you're healed. Everybody else come up front for prayer, and then we'd lay on hands. And we saw the other half or over half, 15, 16, 1,700 healed from laying on hands. And for laying on hands, it's good for that, because if it's there and you pray for it, then you can feel it move, or you can actually talk to the person and they say, oh, it's not here anymore, but right here it hurts, or here it hurts. And Randy Clark actually shared a very good story, testimony about where something started, I think in this wrist. And he went to pray for it, and then it went to elbow, shoulder, other shoulder, elbow, and then here, and then and it was out.
So it's a demon.
Yeah, so you just chase it out.
Chase it out.
Yeah, so it's no big deal. And a real good word for you guys. This is something I learn from different people all the time, but I won't say who it is. I told him earlier, but somebody came up to me last week and they said, when we pray, especially for protection or anything else, and you're calling down angels, they said when they show up, you know what happens, right? I said, no, in my mind, I was thinking they just kind of went away if there's anything dark. And they said, no, when the angels show up, they come like 10 to 1. They way outnumber the enemy, and they just cut their heads off. You don't have to put that in the video, but I found that pretty encouraging. Good luck returning without a head. So I got a chuckle about that. It was somebody that was a seer, so I got a laugh out of that. I hadn't heard that. Oh, Jared had a word, now that I think about it. I don't understand that completely. I think he means jaw issues, maybe from your teeth, or tooth issues. I don't know. If that's anybody, then I'll pray for that. If not, that's okay. So, do you guys got any questions? Yeah, maybe. About hearing the voice, stepping out and testing it, anything like that. Good time to ask.
I'm gun shy would be a good word, because you do this stuff and then you go out for the next week, you got from the enemy. If you don't have daily fellowship and daily time in the Word, or even in the same day, So it's kind of, I'm a little hesitant to start, getting too rowdy.
Yeah. Does he feel a condemnation or something from
Well, it's
the
just how
enemy?
many, it's kind of like praying, and maybe this is available. What I'm doing is I'm praying that I find a network of support, so like yourself, have enough people. So when you walk in this stuff, you're going to come against attack. It happens to me. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
it's like a backlash.
It's if you feel that, don't be afraid to pray for protection or encouragement before you go out. And then just know, no matter what, that when you're stepping out, especially in the public with a word of knowledge, that I've prayed for the wrong thing, the wrong knee or something, they still get healed. Or I give the wrong word of knowledge, and I say, no big deal. My name's still Jordan. Nice to meet you. I'm here to tell you about Jesus. It's not a big deal. And then they bring up, but actually I have this going on. And then you pray for them anyways in the name of Christ. And so as you step out, it's a learning process. And,
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not at this point, I'm not stepping out without my personal armor and background.
That's fine.
Otherwise, I'll do something, and I've moved in the Spirit before, and it's like, the next 2 months I'm trash. Things go wrong.
Yeah.
But that's, like I say, I'm still kind of like working out.
Yeah,
Network.
some foundational stuff. That's
Yeah.
I think it's good to have, like you said, mentoring, because we had what was his first name? Todd White here, and we had that whole group in Toledo. Was wonderful. We went out, prayed for people and things, but I saw one instance where the person gave a word that was definitely not encouraging. In fact, it was very frightening. And so I knew it was not of God. And this guy actually ran away when he heard it. And I don't blame him. But, you know, so that kind of thing it's so good in the church and to have mentoring with it, because you can have those conferences or the big conventions that come, and then I think, you know, it's good to have follow-up in the churches.
Yeah.
And,
That's
you know,
critical. I mean,
Yes.
and we've all seen, you know, where
Yes.
God moves and then.
The part of the church that tries to prophesy in that way, and they teach in that way sometimes, I think it's just because they believe the lies.